Piledriver podcast. Let's go. We from the O. You need to know. We got Mike, Vince, and Tony on the show. Piledriver. Piledriver podcast. It's the Piledriver podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
What is
and
up?
Welcome to the greatest podcast on the internet. I am the stabby one, Vince Smith, and to my whichever way I can't point is my good man, Tony Forge.
What's up?
We are sans one Mike Allen this evening. He is out being the best dad in the world.
That's right.
And
3 games today, man.
3 games. Our homegirl, Zoe, just killing it out there. So hopefully everything's going good for them. I love to see it. I already told Zoe I need that card. I need a signed Zoe card.
For real, though.
So
Money down the line.
But this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we have some pretty awesome events to go over. First and foremost, we have EFW Adrenaline that was on Friday out of the Neo Sportsplex. And then we're going to go over NeoPro Xtreme out of the Diamond Lounge. And was it Canton or was it Akron? It was somewhere in between.
Canton, yeah.
Okay. So, but first, we actually have a surprise guest this evening because we're going to go over a few things that happened over the weekend involving him. So, Tony, would you do the honors?
Yes, sir. There he is. He's
Quite
back,
the
everyone.
last
Sinner, Colt Johnson.
Quite the last couple of days for the Southern Center. For those of you that have lived under a rock for far too long, Mega Infinity Champion, PPW Ohio State Champion, the Southern Center, Colt Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. Mike Allen did not grow hair and get sexier. It's just me.
And younger.
And he didn't have glasses now. That's impressive, Colt.
That too.
Right.
That too.
Welcome, brother. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Banger shirt.
Yeah, awesome shirt, by the way. So, let's just get right into it. Over the course of the weekend, you had to defend your Mega Infinity title at EFW.
And I still got it. Let's talk about that for a second. So, originally, it was going to be me and Big Nasty, Vinny Maverick. And as I said, boys, he big and boys, he nasty.
Yes.
But unbeknownst to me, I would have to end up defending this Mega Infinity Championship against Vinny Maverick because being the absolute coward that dude is, he wouldn't accept the match unless I put it on the line. And very obviously, I successfully retained my championship. And quite honestly, I think that's all that needs to be said about that.
Well, unfortunately, we can't just leave it at that because there was no walk in the park here. Vinny is not one to be trifled with, and he definitely put you through the ringer, Colt.
Yeah.
Various means or anything didn't go down towards the end
No,
of the match?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. However, I will say this. Vinny Maverick hit me with a discus lariat that almost just broke my jaw. That hurted a lot, but you know what? It's fine. It hurted a lot.
That's how much it hurt.
Yeah, it hurt so much. I'm making words up. That's not a word. He spun around and just damn near clocked my head off. But it doesn't matter because I still have this. So who cares?
Fair enough. Well, I mean, it was a great showing by both gentlemen here. I literally was just like, wow, I can't believe that we're actually seeing a title from Mega being defended at EFW. And that's not the only, one of these going on because now next week at Turmoil, we're going to have EFW's heavyweight championship defended by Ashton Day there. So
yes, we will.
What do you think of this, Colt?
What do I think of this? What do I think of this?
What do you think of us? We're sharing titles here. We're putting title shots on at different promotions. What's your thoughts on this?
I will say this. I personally believe I was the catalyst for this entire ordeal here because I, being the fantastic champion that I am, the greatest Infinity champion of all time, I went interpromotional with this sucker. And surprise, surprise, it looks like somebody else, Ashton Day, wants to jump on the bandwagon and go interpromotional with their championships. And honestly, I can't blame him.
Do you think you should be the one getting the title shot? I mean, we don't know who's going to be fighting Ashton, right?
Not to be that guy, but A, Turmoil is the Bear City Vice show, and B, I've already beaten Ashton Day, but that's not up to me.
You're right.
Indeed.
That is
So
not
we shall
throwing it
see
out there.
who Ashton Day is going to defend that title from here soon, hopefully in the next couple days. And honestly, we really can't skip past a lot of stuff here. So let's talk about towards the end of this match, Colt, and what all happened with that. So,
Travesty.
indeed so. So we ended up seeing the owner of EFW, Ronnie Rotten, coming out and almost celebrating with you, like
Great guy. Great guy.
okay, okay. He was celebrating with you, but he wasn't just celebrating with you. He was looking to force everyone there as fans to celebrate his birthday with him.
Time out. First of all, that's just poor verbiage on your part there, Mr. Stabby, because you don't force anybody to do anything, all right? They paid their ticket to go sit in that facility, and it was Mr. Rotten's birthday. So any half-decent human being would sing this man happy birthday. They do it at restaurants for free. They paid the ticket to come in. Why wouldn't they sing happy birthday to this man? The only reason they're there for their entertainment is because of this dude, and they were unbelievably ungrateful.
Rightfully so. And they weren't the only ones that the fans weren't the only ones that weren't really having a good time. And what we ended up seeing very shortly after the song starts, that we saw an emergence of some of the other members of EFW's roster, kind of letting the boss know, like, hey, big F you. So, I honestly, I was so, I was busy. I was preoccupied. Let's just leave it at that.
Yes,
But
yes.
all I can say is there was something that happened. They were tussling. People were pushing each other. Even the fans were kind of getting pushed around. We had Dios. We had, Kano. We had a lot of people, a lot of members of EFW just, shoving each other around. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like an RKO, there's a cake getting smashed into Ronnie Rotten's face.
I was trying to look for the video. I can't find it.
Pitiful.
I saw it before.
It was one of the most ridiculous things I think I've ever seen, because this man had a mask of cake. Like, he had it. It was just stuck to his face. And Colt, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was Vinny Maverick who ended up taking him, or doing that to him.
So I got a front row seat at this whole deal here. So what had happened was we were all celebrating Mr. Rotten's birthday like the good employees that we are. It was myself, Kano, the Vanilla Gorilla, Ashton Day came out.
He's the one that baked the cake.
With a beautiful cake. It was beautiful. I saw it.
Wow.
I didn't taste it because I can't do sugar. But yeah, I was out there. Vito Mozzarella was out there with me too. We were all about to celebrate this dude's birthday, and then those dudes, as you said, Dios and all these other people, come out through the crowd. We start jaw-jacking with them because they are just terrible employees, ungrateful pieces of garbage as far as I'm concerned. We start jaw-jacking with them, and then when I turn around, I hear a noise, and I see Vito is the first one who turns. I'm like, what are you looking at? And I turn around, and this dude, Mr. Rotten, right? His face was completely frosted, if you will. All right, great picture right there. That's what we call aura. But yeah, Vinny Maverick just absolutely caked this dude right in the face, and it was a disgrace. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It didn't fall off quick either, guys. Like,
it did not.
Stuck. It was just stuck. Like, it was
I
almost
can't find a
pasted
picture of
on.
It did not. But I will say this. I'll give a little behind the scenes memo here. So me and Vito Mozzarella sitting in the back. We're discussing the events that just took place, and I look over my shoulder, and good old Mr. Ronnie Rotten comes back, and he's like perfectly cleaned up, right? I'm like, what? So in the
I don't
time
know.
I got, me and Vito had to go take promo pictures and stuff, right? And by the time we come back, he comes back through the thing, and he is like it looks like he just spent an hour getting ready. I was like, well, how did you do that?
Like a
I
new
was.
man.
He was like a new man. He looked better
Yep.
than he did when he had the suit on prior. Like, it was ridiculous. So, props to him.
Wow, that's sometimes it's kind of nice to have people that are behind the scenes in the action there and letting us know what happened. Because I did notice that he came out nice and spiffied up towards the end
Yes, he
of the
did.
show. There were a couple other great matches. Unfortunately, I didn't take any notes on this one, so my apologies to EFW. Like I said, I was a little preoccupied with what I had going on. But we definitely saw some great matches from a lot of the
Yes.
people there at EFW. So shout out, again.
Great picture.
Yeah. So, thank you. Oh,
That's your nefarious means.
Great picture. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, no. Great card. Butchie B and J Rock tore the
there you
house
go.
down, from
Thank
what
you.
I understand. I believe there was a mixed tag match in there somewhere. There was the main event tag team match. So there were.
You are right. Thank you, Colt. We actually did end up seeing a debut from one of the people that we're getting more familiar with over this time. It was Ray Larson and Miles Jacobs versus Sebastian LaShawn. And I don't remember the gentleman's name that she ended up tagging with, but that was a great showing.
Yes.
Things happen. We heard that the Vibre Mackenzie couldn't make it, and hopefully everything's okay on his end. Shout out to Bray. But it's kind of crazy how if you're in the right place in the right time, any promotion is willing to work with you and what they have in front of you. And that's something we saw right there, because originally it was a three-way match between Sebastian, Miles, and Bray, and then kind of things
Just kept
went.
evolving.
Yeah, it just kept evolving,
Right,
and it was
right.
a great match. Thank you for reminding me. And then, correct me if I'm wrong. There was the main event was Dio Salvador and Kyle. Is it
Kyle
Horton?
Horton.
Yep,
Yes.
Kyle Horton versus Josh Emanuel, Kano,
Yeah.
and Nick Brashear, the Vanilla Gorilla. So
Yes.
this was another one of those matches that was kind of very much animosity. It was building, it was bubbling. I mean, Dio's, you want to talk about people that aren't happy with the places they're working at. Dio's just
Ungrateful.
absolutely hates Ronnie Rotten, and you can just tell because he's always fighting with the guy. So to see Kyle having to deal with some of the same stuff and then them coming together, they worked really well. Despite having completely different styles of wrestling, and then again, great match. Very good match. To be honest, I walked away from Adrenaline, very satisfied for a Friday evening.
Yes. And then the other two matches that I just remembered that happened, Asher Day defending the EFW title against Bill Collier, and Pastor CeeLo and Christian Napier.
Yes, sir. That's what I was just gonna. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cole. At least somebody's paying attention when they're working.
I remembered. I conjured it in my brain.
I was trying to grab the pictures and I'm looking at the card and stuff, but you got it, Cole. You're on it.
Yeah, and then that again. Let's touch on that then. So Christian Napier versus Pastor CeeLo. I didn't know I needed that match until that match happened.
Right, though? That sounds awesome.
It was great, Tony. Both men put their all on the line. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Christian's got some of the most, crazy. I'm going to use one of your words down here, Colt, is aura. He's got this aura. He comes out, and he's just like, yeah! And you're just like, whoa, dude. You need to settle down. No, you don't need to settle down. You need to get in there. He wants to rip somebody's fucking head off. So
yeah. If I may, I know that Christian Napier and one Vincent Nothing have had some issues with my boys in Bear City Vice in the past. However, I will not take anything away from Christian Napier. I think he is fantastic. I think he's a great wrestler, and I've been told that Christian Napier and myself have a lot of similarities.
Okay, I can see
yeah,
that.
I mean, I could see that. I'm not even gonna argue about that with you, man. I can
I've
see
been
it.
told that by a number of
Mhm.
different people.
Yes,
And
sir.
you know what? Looking at that guy, I take that as a compliment because he's one of
Yes.
the only people I actually like don't hate. It's great.
But that was a great match. Two veterans of the game just going at it. And then again, thank you for reminding me because there's more to something we spoke on earlier. So we saw Ashton Day defend his EFW heavyweight title against Big Bill Collier. Now it's big time Bill Collier. Let me correct myself.
I forgot I
Um,
could do this
Okay.
too.
All right, buddy. Okay.
damn, that's
All
coming from
right.
the
You didn't have to
boss. The
you didn't
boss
have to do
sucks.
that. All right, you didn't have to do
I've
that.
been forgetting that I
He
can do
did
that.
though.
Mike's not here.
Yeah.
You didn't have
Like, oh
to go
yeah.
and do that. All right.
So anyways, so this was one of those matches that again,
Oh,
like I was like, this is gonna be so one-sided. Like Big Bill towers over Ashton. Like I love Ashton, but this man, Big Bill, is a big man.
He is
And
large, yes.
dude, he threw Ashton around like a rag doll. Like I honestly, I was like, this is it. Like we're gonna see it change hands finally. Like I hate to doubt somebody like Ashton, but it was dude, he was getting his butt whooped, and then I knew he had the
yeah.
night
I
next
believe
night
it.
ahead of himself. So I'm like, this dude's got his plate full. So, anyways, had it not been for one J Rock Daddy getting involved and basically being a fly in Big Bill's ear, like Ashton may not have walked out with that EFW title, and somebody else would be facing Big Bill on Thursday. But instead, I will say that Ashton was able to retain his title, but I would bet to say that Big Bill was going to have another chance at that heavyweight title.
I just got
We're gonna have to
breaking
wait and
news
see.
from Mr. Brandon Xavier. Also,
Oh
if you'd
boy.
like to know, we have confirmation that this Thursday on Turmoil, it will be Chris Onyx facing EFW champion Ashton Day.
Wow.
Thank you, Brandon, for that
Yes,
exclusive
thank
here.
There
you.
you go.
We were wondering who Ashton was going to face this Thursday, and now we
There you
have
go.
the answer. So,
That's
guys,
that
tune in Thursday.
number one contender to the mega championship. So can Chris Onyx in the next few weeks be a dual
Oh, Chris
dual
Onyx might have two heavyweight titles here in a couple of weeks.
championship? I want to throw this up too. We want to say hi to Jill. Jill's
What
been
up?
in recovery. What's up, Jill?
Hello, Jill. Hopefully, you're recovering well. Get well soon, and we'll hopefully see you at Breaking Down Barriers. But yeah, again, I like I said just a second ago, EFW, I left very much entertained. It was a great time. Thank you for everyone that puts it on, from the door to, even like the food. If you guys haven't had the food at the Neo
Their food there is
Sportsplex,
good.
it is so good. Even the breakfast, like they have breakfast, and
Oh wow,
yeah,
At
yeah.
breakfast? I didn't
that's
know that.
legit.
Oh yeah.
I get breakfast. That'd be sweet.
So the Dojo Wars are coming up, and that's when you get a chance to have some of their breakfast. It's actually pretty phenomenal. I believe that Dojo Wars is April 26th, so at the end of the month. Unfortunately, myself and Mike have some predestined plans that day, but definitely if you're in the area of Euclid or really anywhere in NEO here, Northeast Ohio, go check them out. Give them some support. It's great to see again two companies kind of working together simultaneously. So
Yes,
now let's
good to see.
let's let's get right into it because I'm gonna just start by saying we took in NeoPro's XXX stream at the Diamond Royale last night, and it wasn't just the three of us as usual, me, Mike, and Tony here.
Oh
No,
yeah.
no, no. We came with the crew
Hold
and
on, I got that one too.
excellent. So we
Oh,
squatted up.
That is
let's
a
go.
squad right
That's a
there.
squad right there.
So what a time was had. I mean, when you have this many people that are just down to hang out, have fun, and watch wrestling, it's a good time. Now, I'm going to start by saying that one of the first things we noticed immediately walking into the Diamond was not only the half naked women's but we were able to legitimately sit next to the ring. We were
Yes.
right
Literally.
on
You
the
were
apron.
right on the ring.
Standing right there, yeah.
Like, it was one of the closest, if not the closest match, or my apology, my event that I have been to in wrestling. To be able to be allowed to be that close to the ring, I just want to just immediately shout out NeoPro for being willing to let people like us do that.
Yeah.
You know, we were warned by Captain of Security Nick Anderson that if we put our hands through the ropes, that's a no-no. But we were allowed to bang on the apron. You know, I was
Yeah, that was real
actually
cool.
he was nice enough to let me have a little corner spot against the
Mhm.
wall.
Yeah, you
where
were
I
hiding
was-
in the corner.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
when there's
man.
that many pretty women, I need that. You know, I need my space, guys. Come on.
I hear you. I hear you.
You know, please.
Well, I will say the clips we have later that we'll show, you got a hell of an angle on a lot of stuff. The lighting is real cool. Yeah, you got a nice
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just one of those things. You know, we as the Piledriver podcast have grown as NeoPro, and to be allowed to, you know, kind of just be there. You know, not only were we there getting, you know, footage and stuff to talk about today, but we're also taking care of some of our own. You know, I saw Mike check a couple people, you know, stuck in his ref ways. You
Mhm.
know, but we were genuinely allowed to have so much fun. And let me tell you, boys, I know I walked away smiling ear to ear because damn it, that was just a great time.
It
And
was a great time.
honestly, I'm just so excited to get right into it. So let's just jam. So right at the top, our first match, and I was like, yo, this is our first match. Like, I was like, okay.
Right, yeah. Let's start
Man.
Dominic
off.
Garrini versus Truck Morris. This didn't this just I this went so hard. Like I
Yeah, it was
know
hard hitting, yes.
like I know Dom, and I've seen Dom through AIW and NeoPro, and I've gotten to know Truck over a lot more as of recently. But we had like I mean I'm just gonna say Truck took some abuse
Boy,
last
did he.
night.
Did you see that picture he posted of his chest earlier today?
About
Oh,
as black as our
Go,
hoodies.
yeah, go check that out if you ain't seen it. But yeah, this was, I mean, 500 chops at least.
yeah.
And
Easy.
that's only a little bit of an exaggeration. Like that was, there were a lot of, they were just beating the hell out of each other. I thoroughly had fun just watching these two beat the crap out of each other because I wasn't getting hit.
Right. You don't have
Yeah.
to be a part of any of it. You're right.
Exactly. I was just there. I said, oh, look at this. They're just beating the hell out of each other.
So, you know, and like you guys said, it was chop for chop. You know, it wasn't just Guarini chopping Truck. No,
Right.
Truck definitely
They went back and
gave
forth.
Dom a taste of his own medicine, and I'm sure Dom's feeling that right now. You know, I saw Chuck get some massive choke slams in too. Like that's one of my favorites to see by him because he's just a big, tall dude. He can literally, he's like a maskless Kane, my guys. Like he is just like
Oh, yeah.
he is a brute, man. And you know, I was literally rooting for my man. Like Truck is the man, but unfortunately, Dominic Guarini got that win with, of course, a pile driver.
Pile driver.
Driver.
It's the show. It's the name of the show,
Good
everybody.
stuff. Good. That's going in the opener. I gotta get a couple new ones in there, but that was a good one. I got
Yeah, that was a like a
Yeah.
That was
chef's kiss of pile drivers.
Chef's kiss and
Yes.
pile
I
driver.
think for me personally, I think this was probably my second favorite match of the night.
Cool. No,
Yeah.
I will back that for sure. It was a great match. Shout out both dudes. And then we went right into a tag team match. This was Studio 86, Maserati Rick and Bill Martell versus Warhorse. Now, I again, I'm not great with names. I know that it's Crosshairs Kelly, but I do not know his partner's name, so I'm gonna
I'm awful with names
apologize.
too. Yeah, Mike's really good about
Mike
that.
Mike's the
is the
name
name
guy.
guy,
I'm
and we love
terrible
Mike and miss
about
Mike
names.
because of this. But these guys, you know, first off, I'm gonna send a big FU to Studio 86.
Oh, you ain't
Yeah.
got to do that.
Man, you
Listen,
guys.
listen. They come in, they want to get in Mike's face, but they didn't see little old me creeping in the corner. Me and Maserati Rick got some real beef, and I'm waiting. Rick, I'm right here. I'm right here every time. I'm right there every time, boy. Come up, step
He
up.
never does anything, man.
No,
I didn't realize
he likes to get in
like,
Mike's face,
He
but
does.
he's a
but he
little
never
scared of
comes.
me.
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
scared
yeah.
of me. I mean,
Uh,
to be honest, when you
yeah.
look like Jeffrey Dahmer, it's easy to be scared.
You never know what you're when your nickname is
Yeah.
Stabby, bro. You might want
Ugh,
to.
ugh.
He's
But
probably.
You know,
man, I gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. After Saturday, I've seen Studio 86 before. I gotta be honest. Vince, hate me or don't, it is what it is. I'm a big Studio 86 guy. I ain't
You
gonna
would
lie.
be, bro.
I'm a big
Hey,
Studio 86 guy.
I
I
was gonna
won't
say
hate
just the
you for
opposite.
liking them. Just don't team with them. All right. So, anyways, this
No
this
comment.
was this was the first match that we saw them, like, we saw not just the ring utilized, but this whole strip club was being used.
Yes.
And I was waiting for it. I figured Dom and Truck would have went and did that, but nope, they kept it just very civil in the ring. These guys, on the other hand, they were chasing each other around. They were running around like,
It
chickens
was
with
all
their
over the
heads cut
place.
off. And
Well,
you're
and the
right.
way the entrance was set up and things too, it was where more of the dancers and the pole area around where the entrance is.
The
So
dancers.
the dancers, you got to be politically correct, Brent, man. I don't know what you want.
Not me.
There's
Not me.
there's a word for that. It's called strippers.
It's called
Yeah.
stripper.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
they were.
I like
Yeah.
they use their whole the whole entrance area and things there. It was nice. So then like you got a lot of crowd action too. So it was better interaction for everybody.
It was. And again, I'm not real good with names, but Studio 86 won in a poor fashion. They had their manager low blow Crosshairs Kelly, and in that time, Maserati Rick was able to grab the loaded fanny pack of doom. And
Loaded fanny pack is diabolical, by the way. Can we talk about that for a second?
Do you know what was in there?
No one knows, man, but it glows. If you notice,
No,
when
he pulled it
walking
out.
it was
Yeah, he
bright
did.
green.
He pulled it out. It was a Four
It's
Loco.
the manager. The manager always has it on him.
It was a Four Loco in there, man.
Got him
It
with
was
the
a
Four
Four
Loco.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no,
Cracked him with a Four Loco.
you always have to watch out for that fanny pack of doom. So
Fanny pack of doom.
unfortunately, Studio 86 walked away with the win. Hopefully, it's not the last time we see Warhorse in NeoPro. And then we went into the match that I kind of got a little laugh out of, because I've always seen
It's daytime, boys.
exactly. I've always seen that there are two very well decorated wrestlers in the business locally that have the same name, and then now we saw them finally face each other. Ashton Day, the current reigning NeoPro heavyweight champion, put his title on the line against Brandon Day, and I knew this match was gonna be good, but I didn't know it was
very
gonna be
good.
Yes.
this good, boys.
I've never seen Brandon Day. That was my first time seeing him live, and he's
Yeah.
good, man. I like him a lot.
Yeah, W Day. You know what I mean? You remember earlier when I said Truck and Guarini was my second favorite? This was
Right.
hands down, no contest, best match of the night. If you disagree, you're wrong. I hate to break it to you.
Fair enough, Colt. We'll let you let you have your decisions there. But anyways, I will say I've seen Brandon in NWA and in Exodus, and I've seen Ashton a million times over. Ashton's one of my favorite indie wrestlers, and I was worried for this man for the second night in the row. Like, I'm like, dude, what are you getting yourself into? So I'm going to start by saying that these men put it all on the line. Like,
Yes, they
I
did.
was just
Yes, they did.
so impressed. But there was some stuff that I was like, huh? Like, let's go straight to it, because I know that a lot of people saw this. There was a point when Ashton was going to hit Brandon with a steel chair.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
all of a sudden, Brandon Day grabs the chair
Man,
while it's behind Ashton as he has it like he's going to hit him. And then literally throws poor Ashton up over his head like a suplex of sorts.
Like a
belly to
belly-to-belly
belly
overhead
style with the
suplex.
chair on his back, but had
Yeah.
the chair. It was beautiful.
It was
That was incredible. Yes.
Man, inches away, the chair clipping the mat. Oh, could have
Yeah,
been
man.
devastating.
the fact that Brandon Day had the wherewithal to be able to not only counter, but then execute a maneuver like that in that moment shows that he's a real veteran. And we were
Yes.
gifted with a clinic of a match with this one.
It was
Now,
incredible. It was
It
incredible.
was.
And if
Very
you go back and watch that clip on social media, because I saw that posted
Yeah,
all
it's
over
out
the
there.
place,
Yeah.
right? If you go back and watch the clip, you can see Brandon Day kick Ashton Day in the sternum, right? He goes for the belly to belly on Ashton, and then I think he realizes that the chair is there, so you could literally see him go from having Ashton, and he said, "Fuck it," and then he grabbed the chair and then just threw. It was
it was
fantastic
awesome.
wherewithal.
And it was
Fantastic wherewithal.
It was a perfect landing too. Like it was literally like it was everything. You know, we're so used to wrestling and things going wrong. For once, something crazy went right, and it was just beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
There was one other thing. There was one other thing in this match that I thought was incredible. Well, among other things, but this is the thing that really stuck out in my head. Ashton Day loves to do that thing where he'll like whip a dude off and then hit like the opposite rope and
Oh,
then like kick him in the head, right?
Yes, I
He
forgot about
goes
that
to
spot.
do that, and Brandon Day scoop power slams this dude at what
Yes.
was probably the prettiest counter to a move I've seen in a long time. It was beautiful.
If I would have been in a seat, I would have been out of it.
It was
It
beautiful.
popped me like crazy.
I lost my mind. That was like my favorite thing that I saw all night, and there were a lot of things that we saw.
Yeah,
there was
right.
a lot. This was only match 3. That's been
Yes.
wild. So Ashton Day able to retain his title. You know, great work by both men. I hope that we see this again. Like, and we're gonna see Brandon Day here soon at Breaking Down Barriers. So again, I'm excited to see another great match from that man
versus Alex Daniels. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
that's
so
gonna
good.
be a clinic, man.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. And then we went into the ladies match. So I think a lot of people thought that this match was gonna go a completely different way, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it that the women we saw put on a match that last night didn't disappoint, but they didn't have to show no extra skin.
Correct.
So unfortunately, you know, the card is always subject to change, and this was not the first time this particular match changed.
We have Mike in the chat.
Charge your phone, dog. Like, what are we doing?
So this wasn't the first time this match changed. Originally, we were supposed to see Micah versus Angel Metro versus Zoe Sky. Zoe was unfortunately unable to make it. So then Kylie Page got put into the mix, and that was like, you know, we've seen her before. I know I've seen her before, and I was like, cool, that'll be a great addition. Well, unfortunately, Kylie was not able to make it, so it was a one-on-one match between Micah and Angel Metro. We at the podcast, at least, you know, I can say Angel Metro has a special place in our heart because she was our first lady guest. She was our first woman on our podcast, and I will forever be grateful for that opportunity to have with her because she is absolutely out there doing some big things.
Yeah, she's killing it. Deathmatch world, right?
So it was just so good to see her again, and you know, Micah is another one of those ladies that has been around forever and ever. Absolutely, still just slaying things. So, you know, this was a match to be had. Again, I'm just gonna jump right to the current trending. I hate using that word, but current trending clip of this match is that we saw
Yes.
Angel Metro utilize the pole and do a
Man,
spin kick to Micah.
man, I'm
gotta
so
use-
glad. I'm
You gotta use
so
your
glad
surroundings.
we saw that because Tony, correct me if I'm wrong. Did I not go? Wouldn't it be cool if she swung off the pole and kicked her in the head, and not 5 seconds later she
5 seconds
does this?
later, she
I
does
said, "There's no way." I was like,
it.
Now,
"That all right?" I was like, "Fantastic."
I will say I saw Angel actually personally post that clip and say how she had always been wanting to hit that
Yes.
because it was a Homicide versus CM Punk match that was also done in that fashion. So that's how cool that is. Like that is just full circle moment for Angel, and I love that for her. Again, great match,
That
like
is cool.
perfect match. They did not have to do anything above, you know, just doing what they do best. Like they didn't have to show extra skin. They didn't have to, get anything else involved.
Right.
Well,
It
there were
was
plenty of
Didn't have
other
to be
people there for that.
yeah,
There
it
were
didn't have to be like
plenty
a
of other
Braun
people
Tanning
there for
match
that.
or
Yeah,
something
How would
stupid.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
How would you know, Cole?
because I have eyes, big dog. I don't know what to tell you.
Fair enough. And we ended up seeing Angel Metro take home the dub, which kudos to Angel Metro, but not leaving Micah without some flowers. She did awesome. One of the better powerhouses in the game, and I was really happy to see her out there too. Now this match, this is where things got a little weird. This was Dantavio versus Gigi
Yes, there we go.
Jacobs with
Lord have mercy, this match.
with a
This match.
yeah,
Lord,
Yo,
like
wait, hold on.
man.
This is cool as hell. Did you
I
see
did
this?
see that. Yes, that was
That's
fire.
cool as fuck.
that's
Yes.
awesome. And then
Thank you, Jason.
shout out to Jason. Thank you for having us, bud. I
Yes.
appreciate you. But let's get into this match because holy cow. So first off, we had a
Yeah.
special guest referee. I don't know who he was. Um a very interesting character, and I'll leave it at that. This match went the way I figured it was gonna happen. Like I just, knowing Gigi Jacobs and how out there he is, he brought
That's
it
one way to
all.
describe it.
He brought it all. He literally,
He,
as
oh
he's
boy,
getting
did he bring it
frisked
all.
at the beginning of the match, which I don't know why he was getting frisked at the beginning of the match. I think that was just the referee wanted to touch the man, but
Hey, you I mean?
they
Hey now.
found a weapon of Gigi Jacobs' choice. Now it wasn't, the wrestlers bring their own weapons, but for some reason the ref let them have it in there. It was a purple double-sided dildo.
Yes,
That's
it
And
a
was.
weapon. That
it
was a
That's
weapon,
a
all right.
weapon.
yes,
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen that used in a match. And yet we saw it multiple
Wait,
times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
you,
Yeah.
I was
Boy, oh
waiting for
boy.
I've never seen that and then use it in a
Then I seen it. It
match.
just happened. It was like, whoa, there it is. So,
Man.
you
Hey,
know,
man. Also, side note, that same double-sided dildo, I got hit in the chest with by
yes,
one
you
of the
Yeah,
did.
strippers later
one of
on.
the
I said,
strippers.
"Oh,
Yes, you
all
did.
right. What you ain't got to do that." I think,
She
quite
came out of
honestly,
nowhere.
boys, quite honestly, I think she wanted a Johnson style, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, go ahead.
I think she might have wanted to give it to you, Johnson style. But anyways,
You're right. She came at
Whoa.
you with it, man. You got to be careful now.
yeah, you definitely got to be careful in those in the where
Hey,
we were at last night, Colt. You definitely got
I
to be
hear.
careful.
Yeah, you ain't
Um,
kidding.
so this match was great. I mean, we went into it and it was hot. It was hot and fast, and not like that.
That's what she said. Yeah.
These guys just sent right away. I want to say within the first 2 minutes of the match, Dantavio was literally topeing himself through the ropes out into the freaking cluttered club. Like there was
Right.
not a lot of room. So like let me paint
No, there
this
was
picture
not.
for everyone out there. It was literally assholes and elbows. Like we were all kind of sardined together. I was lucky enough to be in a corner by myself, but even Tony and his wife Jen and Colt and Mike and Amanda, we were all kind of smushed together. We were lucky enough to not have anyone behind us,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
on the other side of the ring, it was complete chaos. Like people were like
Yes, it
sardined in
was.
there. So
Yeah, I mean, security's making room for, pathways for, you got fire
Yeah.
codes or whatever, and the bars over there. Yeah, there's only so much space.
There's only so much space, but these boys used every inch of
Yes.
it. I
You got to choose
gotta
your wording
jump.
carefully there, Vince.
What's it?
You got to choose your wordage, your verbiage carefully there. Using
Man.
every inch in a strip club. Hey, now let's
Well, that's where
Hey.
I'm getting that. See, that's where I'm getting at, though. I'm opening it right up to this, Cole. So there was a moment in this match where that double-sided dildo came into play
Yes, it
as
did.
Gigi Jacobs tried to jam it down Dontavio's throat, but unfortunately well, maybe not unfortunately for Gigi,
We have Dontavio in the chat.
Dontavio was
Man.
able to push it back.
Man, I'm so upset that happened. I really wanted to see Dontavio just have to deep throat that thing. You know what I mean? I wanted to see that bad because first of all, nice of you to show up for work there, Dontavio.
Oh man.
Second of all,
what a
yeah.
man.
I wanted to see it bad. I ain't gonna lie.
So, well, luckily, our boy Dontavio didn't have to have that, but Gigi ended up taking it, and I think he might have liked it a little bit. But
He did.
Hey,
at one point, the
each
ref
his
ended
own.
up putting that into the door in a very precarious way, which was absolutely hilarious. But let's get to this door spot, boys, because I've seen a lot of these things. I've seen a lot of tables, bridges, made out of doors. I don't think I've ever seen one not break. And boy, I hope my boy Dontavio's back is okay because it didn't budge. It literally
Not at all.
that
No.
first door was so rock solid it didn't even move.
You're saying
I
a lot
like-
of funny things here, Vince. You're
Yeah.
saying a lot of funny things.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. Old Stabby's in the business here.
Oh, we got Dontavio firing back, man.
All right. Let me. I'm seeing a lot of comments going on right now. Let me address this. First of all, I wanted to see that happen to Dontavio because he very obviously couldn't come to Turmoil and choke on that championship match he was going to get. So I figured he'd be choking somewhere else.
Oh. Anyway.
I gotta put my ref stripes on, boys. Anyways, so this match went all over the place, and our boy Dontavio ended up winning with a DVD through a second door, putting Gigi Jacobs out like a light. That was just an awesome match. Definitely not what I was expecting. Speaking of not what we were expecting, I'm going right into this just next match. Vic Vice. It was originally Vic Vice versus Sammy Sometimer. But it didn't stay like that because
No,
Vic
it did
Vice
not.
came
It did
out
not.
with Zay Garcia, both being a BAX, I believe it was PAX, I can't remember their faction name. And it seemed like it was 2 against 1 for a very long time. Until Malcolm, and now I just lost his last name, unfortunately. But our boy Malcolm, who's part of a tag team in AIW, came through and backed Sammy up. This match was just a street fight. Like this match, they were literally killing each other, kicking the crap out of each other. But again, I'm gonna go zooming right to that trending post. We legitimately saw a man jump from a balcony into a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
No care whatsoever for his body. Big Vice literally put it all on the line last night, boys. Even though I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, I was literally speechless at the moment.
Speechless. Like I kind of saw him behind me because there's like stairs where we were posted up at that he was headed up that way. They were kind of fighting and things. And I'm like, oh no, where's he going? Where's he going? And out of nowhere, he just move and we have the clip for a little bit later on that you'll see it. It's insane.
It's absolutely insane. And unfortunately, I think I was way too involved with this match to the point where I don't even remember who won.
Oh shit.
I'm 90% sure that
I think it was Vic Vice.
I wanted to say
and
Vic
his
Vice.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah, because he hit that dumbass dive and then hit another move and then won or something.
Yes.
I'll be real honest with you guys. There was a point last night where I was just so locked in. I was trying to take some photos and I kept forgetting to go to my notes because I take my notes on my phone. And it sucks because there's times like that that's been happening more and more lately because I'm getting just so into the action. You know, things happen. But what a wild match. Like these
Jose
these guys
Garcia.
literally were
Yeah.
kicking the crap out of each other.
Yeah, I didn't, man. I usually am trying to do notes and things too with you, and I didn't have anything. I was very locked in this whole show.
That was a great show.
Yeah,
Great show.
great show.
The next match, this is a match that I literally was just recently talking about wanting, and I got it. It was literally like, here you go. So we knew that the good one, Pastor Cena, was
Yes.
going to make an
So
appearance.
excited to see him.
But first, it wasn't him that came out. It was the guiding light Matthew Taylor coming out, and he was just so upset with everyone at NeoPro because he didn't like the nudity in the strip club. But that's what a strip club is all about, Matthew.
All
So
the
I
He
don't
was
know
sin.
just
what
a
you thought you were getting
huge.
yourself into, but he was telling everyone you're sinners and he's disappointed in you. But then Pastor CeeLo came out and made a very good argument and said, who doesn't love titties?
Titties.
And
Hard to argue with him.
it
Right.
really
You know
is.
what I
It
mean?
is. It
I
is.
don't
It
like
was-
CeeLo very much, but yeah, nah, he was right on this one. This whole match spawned because Matthew Taylor doesn't like titties,
Yeah.
and CeeLo does.
Apparently, yeah.
So what a match. Again, this is one of those ones I'd like to call it a clinic. These guys were putting it all out there, just killing each other. But also, this was a wrestling match. Like out of
Yes, this
everything
was
we
also
saw, everything we
Yes.
saw last night was way more extreme, way more hardcore. But this was a wrestling match. Thank you both for putting it on, and I believe that I don't remember who won this one either.
Matthew Taylor won.
Taylor, yeah, Matthew
that's
Taylor
right,
won. I was
because
gonna say it was out. Yep.
Yes, he did.
Sorry.
The titties did not prevail.
The
titties
titties did
not
not
prevail.
prevail. Thank you. But
That
again,
brought out
Beastman.
Beastman.
Brother. Oh my.
We got a little wild with this one too. So
That's an
Matthew
understatement.
Taylor welcomes
Yeah.
Beastman to the ring, and
He was
had
all
to go
about,
one-on-one against
Amanda.
Jimmy Shane.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Beastman, big titties guy. Beastman's a big titties guy.
Beastman's a titties guy.
So
Yeah.
how is Matthew Taylor and Beastman?
I
One and
don't-
the same. One's
Well,
a titties man,
Beastman-
and
Hey.
one's not a titties man.
Beastman operates
Hey.
on core,
Yeah.
men,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just like food.
Yeah, he's a big
titties,
titties guy. He had his bone in his hand the whole time.
Yeah.
Literally, not figuratively. Yeah, Beastman more like breast man, am I right? But yeah, big titties guy this Beastman was. Yeah. And then I'll let y'all explain the absolute man, the eyesore that we had to witness.
No, it wasn't an eyesore. It was absolutely beautiful.
Was for
I hate
me.
to tell you that, Cole.
Was for
I'm
me.
gonna jump right to that.
I didn't need to
amazing
see that.
moment in this match. We got to see Beastman on the pole, giving it all, laying it all out, letting it all out. Man, it was so good.
I didn't need to see that.
You did though. You did.
I'm not often, boys. You know me real well. I'm not often speechless, but I was at that point.
I mean, he was a good distance from us, man. Were you like, oh, did you walk over there to
I think
watch, or like?
I think he did.
I didn't walk over there. I was I was standing there, head in hands, not knowing what to do because this dude is at least 350-ish pounds,
Yeah.
and he is just going to town on this pole. I said, "What are we doing?" Like, and you know what? Based on the look of that place, that's probably not the biggest person that's ever been on that pole. But man.
So,
you're not getting
that was
booked.
actually pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal, Cole. So, anyways, once Jimmy Shane got Beastman back in the ring, all hell broke loose. At one point, Beastman's wearing a crimson mask. I think he got stabbed in the head by the scissors.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
And things just went south quick. Poor Beastman. He was just trying to have a good time, just trying to, rub out some titties, put his face in some titties. he unfortunately did not walk away with the dub.
No, he
Jimmy
did not.
Shane ended up getting the win over him. And then proving himself, proving to Danny Figueroa that he's a worthy opponent to keep around. After everything that's been happening with the announcer Ron and everybody. Jimmy almost lost his spot in Neo, and he's able to stick around somehow.
He
Not
got it back.
not without nefarious means used. So
Right.
now I am just I am fucking so excited. Sorry for my language, everyone. This next match was everything that somebody like me who grew up on ECW needed
Whew.
in their life. I've gotten to do fans bring the weapons. I've never had the wrestlers request a special weapon from us. So we here at the Piledriver podcast have become very good friends with Saturday Night Special, Dee Vice, and Marcus Twist. I was messaged last minute yesterday, boys, and luckily I work for a great place called Lowe's. I was able to get our boys Saturday Night Special gusset plates. Now, we actually saw a moment where the strip club said, no, you're not having that. That is too sharp. That is a weapon.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Guess what? We pulled some strings. Our boys at NeoPro said, the Piledriver podcast brought some good weapons.
Let's go.
We need them. And we got our weapons back. And it didn't disappoint, boys. This was the bloodiest, most beat down, brutal, literally, like, this was a brawl, but it wasn't just a brawl. There were so many spots in this match that I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, we saw a golf ball putted into a man's testicles. We
Twice.
saw a bowling ball bowled into a man's testicles. It was absolutely chaos.
And now it wasn't Cash Inc.
It was not.
Yes,
Boy, did
Gavin
they
has
get lucky.
Gavin has an
I
injury.
yes. So what ended up happening is Izzy Lambert reached out to some people that we're very familiar with, Gino DiCapo and Tommy. I believe he goes by Tommy Irish. These are the wise guys, and they're no fools. They knew what they were getting into.
Oh,
And-
let's go! There he is,
Right in the nick of time.
I've been on that second count right there, baby. All right. So we're obviously just getting into this part, buddy. So
I was commenting on from Amanda's phone.
Yeah. We were popping you up a couple times.
So Izzy Lambert brings in the wise guys, and this match was everything. I mean, literally everything. Again, I gotta point out, thank you, Marcus. Marcus gave me this.
Oh,
I
yes.
now have
That's the Piledriver pizza cutter.
You
Yes.
don't give somebody named Stabby a pizza cutter. So maybe I'll make this just be my little friend for now. But thank you, Marcus, for the gift.
I feel threatened.
It's okay. The only person that needs to really worry about it, we won't name. Anyways, this match was amazing. Like I said, we saw golf balls putted into testicles. We saw bowling balls into testicles. We saw gusset plates added to people's skulls. We saw Easter egg baskets full of thumbtacks in little eggs.
I still have a full egg full of thumbtacks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Saturday Night Special to sign that bad boy for me. We're gonna take that, get a hot glue gun together.
I love that.
That's cool.
Match,
Yeah.
bro, this match was crazy. Like I said, I was watching the show again. I just want to shout out Dominic Guarini real quick for the Piledriver. My man pointed right at us. He said, "This one's for you, Piledriver." So that was top notch. I just wanted to throw that out there. Bone collector. That's my boy.
So these guys were just killing each other. We saw, literally the weapons that they were pulling out were wild. There was a real sledgehammer. Like when I say a real sledgehammer, like this is something that a man can only pick up. You
man.
know, and they used almost, I would say they used about 75% of the weapons that were brought.
There was a cane, like it looked like a
Not the guy.
No,
There was
I
like
wanna
this
say
blue
it's a
cane.
cane.
Which
Yeah,
one?
Kane, it was wild. Kane slid under the ring and started chokeslamming everybody. It was crazy. Yeah.
Fucking one of the canes were there.
They
But
had the pizza cutter, Marcus Twist at one point, cheese grated. I believe it was Gino DiCapo.
Yes.
Right in the nuts.
testicles.
Right in the nuts.
Gino's nuts were severely beaten last night.
Same with Izzy.
But let's not forget the most important weapon that was used of all time last night. Michael Contos.
I'm so
Yes.
glad that's what you said because that's what I was gonna say.
Michael
laughter.
Contos was used as a scoop slam projectile at 2 different points.
2 times.
Uh,
And not only that, our man took a bump on.
Yeah.
he ate a
Some
3D
tags.
into the tags.
The 3D
Listen.
on the tax because the wise guys were pissed off that he didn't count the 3 or that Wilbur kicked out.
I think it was Wilbur kicked out, yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Mike, you didn't have to pull too many out. Brianna, I hope you took care of the man, gave him some alcohol, some peroxide, and stuff like that. But
Gave him some treatment.
it was just something. Yeah. I was gonna say that too, but we'll leave it at that. Thank you, Alex.
Right.
I just gotta say this. This match was again everything I wanted it to be, and I can't thank everyone involved enough. Like Didi, Marcus, Wilbur, Tommy, Gino, Izzy. They just. God damn it! And that's just because I know that's pretty. I know that's pretty.
It just cut him off.
'cause it was me.
Yeah.
So it's not
100%.
actually Mike. It's he. So that's why I started losing it there.
Yeah.
I love you, Brianna. Anyways, these boys put it, and I've said that almost all these matches, but these guys put everything on the line. Everything on the line. Thank you, boys, for giving us everything we wanted. That was some pure entertainment. That was real deal NeoPro right there, boys. That is like the stuff that they're made of, and god damn it, if I'm not proud to say that we were able to see all that. Like that was just a great show altogether. Again, this was just a great match, and I love that we got to see this together. And now I think
I'll agree. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. I'll agree. This match was fucking solid. For some people, i.e., Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, they were not as much fans. And death match style, which is I would say this was definitely a death match style. It's not for everybody. Like Paulie, the Hammer would have fucking hated this match.
Right.
He'd have been like, "This is horrible. This is let's go. Can we go home?" This, and I get it. It's not for everybody. But
Yeah.
These boys put down, man.
Yes.
Blood was
I think
spilled.
a little long. They could have shaved a couple minutes off of it. Was my only gripe about it.
There were times where we were like, "That's it. That should be it."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh,
But
okay."
it was not a bad match by any
The
means.
bags of just dumping all those tacks out. I was like, I'm sitting there
There were
like, I know
so
some
many
people were like,
tags.
I'm done. I'm like, yeah, like a
Here,
little
do you
kid in
want to?
a
I got
candy
the
store.
here. I got the clips.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold up. That wasn't even the beginning. Here we go. Piledriver.
We all yelled.
Part-time at Dontavio here. Oh!
There's Big Bobby right there.
D'Lo.
That's
Oh,
a
there,
Bobby, yeah.
Yeah, that was our whole side.
Keep your boy in the Bear City Vice.
There it is. There's.
Yeah, here's poor
This
Contos.
is rough. He took it into tax, man.
I just want to let you guys know that Tommy Irish is Zoe's favorite wrestler.
Man.
Oh.
This coast to coast was fire.
So good.
I thought this was going to be it here.
Let's talk about this for a second. Can you pause the video for a second?
Pause it. Let's talk about this. Because
Okay.
when I saw this video was posted in the Piledriver chat, Colt, which you are not a part of, it was posted. I think Vince took this video and he posted it. I replied to it and I said, "That's my fucking Infinity Champion right there." Because this dude said, "Get in the ring. Fucking bring it, bitch."
Okay. All right. So I was just in the ring. Yes, the day before.
Called you out, Cole, because I remember Zay pointed at you and said, "Pink shirt, you want peace?" And you said, "Yeah, I do actually."
Okay. So I just wrestled 12 hours prior to this show, dog.
So he said that is not her favorite wrestler anymore. So sorry, Tommy.
Damn. Oh, this is the golf ball.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
It's all in the hips, bro.
Yeah.
He's checking the wind.
I think this was my favorite part of that match. Yeah. Because I'm not a deathmatch guy either, but this was funny.
And I mean, he's a good shot.
The best part was that he nailed it. I thought he was about to like hit 4 walls and hit some stripper in the face or something.
I mean, the strippers were definitely hitting the face with something last night.
Oh yeah. I bet they were hitting the face with some balls, but that's neither here nor there.
There it is.
Yeah, this is wild, dude.
This is just crazy. Like boink.
Oh. Yeah, Mike, hold on. I'm gonna run it back.
Dude, his arm
yeah, I think.
bends. Watch that left arm when it lands on the ring, dude.
Bro blew his arm out.
Oh, I almost got it.
Brother.
Like you can.
I'm gonna try one more time. Let me see.
Yeah, you can see it bend. I'm like, all right.
There you go, right there. That's the still shot.
That's the still shot. Yeah. Forget that.
Nobody caught him. That was my biggest thing. Like,
that's what I thought too. Nobody caught him.
Yeah, he kind of undershot it.
He definitely undershot it, and he also like spun. Like I was like, oh god.
I am gonna take advice here and just reiterate it from probably one of the smartest wrestling guys I know. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but you take that's like the look. We call ourselves the Piledriver podcast. We all know that the Piledriver is a very dangerous move. This was risky, bro.
Risky.
That's understatement of the night right there.
Bro,
even nasty Vinnie Mac said that's nasty.
Like,
oh, get that guy out of here.
You jump off that, like, first of all,
You're blind.
The window, blind. You can't see the ring as you're running up to it. The window was probably 3 feet tall. I mean, sure, it looked smaller because we were on the floor looking up at it, but it was it wasn't like it was 5 feet wide. Like it was, he had to leap through this motherfucker.
Well, and you saw how fast he was going. Like he had to
sprinting.
So what if you miss? You just barely missed and you fucking bang your head on the top of that shit.
Like, straight down.
Or your feet catch the fucking lip of the box.
Right. You're going straight down.
In my opinion, cool visual spot. This spot was absolutely wasted at the time.
I
see what he's saying.
Completely agreed.
I will say the same. I get where he's going.
I don't understand why.
Yeah. Like it's just
for the clips, man.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's
for the love of the game, boys. But again, okay, look, now check it out. We've all been to the art hall at Stark County Fairgrounds. That little room that they had Tommy Dreamer in. Remember that room?
Yeah.
I've seen Cowpoke Paul jump off of that. You telling me if Vic Vice doesn't climb up to the top of that, run and do that same dive off onto the floor, it doesn't look 10 times cooler, and the people that come to NeoPro will appreciate it a billion times more.
Right.
Because we didn't get all of the NeoPro faithful last night because we were in a strip club.
Yeah.
So no hate on Big Vice. The spot was crazy. It was fucking awesome. But I think it would have been more received at NeoPro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that particular thing coming from like a wrestler, right?
Oh yeah, he's been talking shit the whole.
Well, yeah, we'll get to Dontavio here in a second. That is one of those things that a lot of indie wrestlers do where they just see something cool and go, I want to do that, and they do it, and they don't necessarily think of the why behind it. You know what I mean?
were the repercussions, dude. Because
The why
Yeah,
or the
man.
repercussions, yes.
If we go back
You're
and we'll play
hip
that,
too, dude.
if we went back and play that clip again, I don't think we'd have to go back. It's fine. But he barely made the flip. He barely made the flip. A less half rotation, he lands on his fucking head.
Well, and his arm, the way, like, he kind of...
Again, nobody caught him, so he had to catch himself.
Right.
He essentially took a flip bump from the second story.
Yeah. Wild.
And then got back up, honestly, though. And, like, he gave the finish of the match or something, too.
Yep.
And that kind of bugged me a little bit. Like, you got to sell that, man.
You
like,
just
not
did
to,
a fucking,
like, that hurt, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got... So, great fucking moment. But, yeah.
Great show. Great show.
Yeah, great show.
It was a very holy shit moment, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole card was a bunch of holy shit moments. Like, either holy shit, I can't believe I just saw that, or holy shit, that's actually going on right now.
Yeah.
Or
holy shit, titties.
Or holy
shit,
titties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At one point, we were told there was going to be no titties because they're filming like downstairs the titties.
Oh no.
The VIP.
No, there were.
Towards the end of the night, yeah, there was just strippers walking around. Just didn't care.
Do you want me to say what I said to you last night?
Go ahead.
There was Tiffany Stratton last night.
Yes.
Girl looked just like Tiffany Stratton, them boobies were out.
I want to say shout out to Big Devin last night. He knows why.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
If you know, you know. Big gang right there for Devin. Danny on the chat. Yes, Dan, we had a good time, man. It was a pretty solid
had a great
show.
time, Danny.
I did say, again, I was off, so I wasn't commenting everything. I did want to say, I heard Vince say it, but being right on the ring like that, if you haven't played the new WWE game, there's a game mode in there called Underground where they don't have ropes on the ring. And it's, it's kind of just the 4 posts and they fight and there's people right up next to the apron. And like, that's what it reminded me of. And I know the ropes are on the ring, but it was cool as shit. That was probably my favorite part of that. That was fucking awesome. Like, I got some sweet shots of Jimmy Shane. He posted earlier, credited the podcast. But just like the shots we were able to get being so close, we got a couple pictures of Stabby Vince hiding, but we're always going to get the shots, and then like, again, being close to the wrestlers, Dontavio hit that tope out right next to us. Wilbur hitting that chair shot right next to us, just standing there next to Crimson Mask right next to us.
They know that we're there. They know that we're there, and that if they need anything, we got their back.
Yeah, it was a really good show. I had fun. That's the flippy clip.
Yeah, damn it, where'd it go? I thought
Yeah, the show was definitely like.
Oh, sorry. That's my bad.
You're good.
Yeah, look at my boy Didi right there. Didi Vice just bloody Crimson masking it up like it's ridiculous.
Wilbur.
Wilbur.
I'm pretty sure it was his wife or his significant other or whatever.
Mama Jill was
looked pissed.
He was not happy. He was not happy.
He was so mad.
That was like my favorite part of that match was just looking over. She was pissed. I was dying. That was great. Yeah, she was stern faced. It was awesome.
Yes. When he got home, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got a stern talking to, and I think I told Bobby, because when we saw that, I pulled Bobby to the side. I was like, you know what? To be fair, there's nothing legal that she's gonna do to him that's gonna be any worse than what he just went through. So he'll be all right. But yeah, no, I had a lot I'm not personally a big deathmatch guy. I don't like death matches, but I did have a lot of fun. I will say that.
No, great time to be had by all. Again, thank you everyone at NeoPro. Thank you Don. Thank you Nick. Thank you Caitlin, Jason, Danny. The list goes on. Just thank you everyone at NeoPro for welcoming us with open arms. and always just letting us do our thing. You know, we're always grateful to be there and be able to report on it.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
No,
I did real quick. I want to talk about something I heard. Again, I wasn't here earlier, so I didn't get to mention these things to you that have happened. We could talk about that too, because Dontavio said that you hid behind us. And like, which was bullshit. But
Yeah, Bobby might have that video.
I got a message. I got a message from today, Vince, from a certain tag team.
I'm gonna see if he has.
And they got some things they want to say, so we're going to set up an interview in Studio 86. We'll be joining the Piledriver.
Ah, my boys.
Oh, let's go.
Come on
My
in,
boys.
Rick.
So yeah, that's going to be happening, and then we've been in talks with a couple other people, but Studio 86 is the big one. Within the next couple of weeks, we will be having them on, and they have some words for me and you. Apparently, I was told last night. So,
I mean, I let Rick have it earlier.
Oh,
So.
I heard. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just to reiterate on what Vince said, man, thanks to everybody for having us out. You know, new style of venue for NeoPro. I had fun.
I have fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had fun.
I mean, I'm too old to go to the titty bars for titties. Like it's
There weren't any anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Once
That was
the night
why
went
I-
on,
Beast
it
Man
was-
had the biggest tits in the building. Let's be
Yes, he
honest.
did.
what Tony said.
once the night went on, by the time the show was almost over, you started seeing girls coming in that were like, "Oh, okay."
The day shift. The
day shift was over.
The
Afternoon.
Thursday,
Yeah.
the Thursday afternoon strippers. I hear you.
So
Listen,
but
there was a point when a girl walked up to me and offered me a drink. She said, "You want a drink?" I said, "No, I don't drink." She said, "Well, do you want to dance?" I said, "No, I don't dance." I walked away.
Said, no.
This was my biggest gripe last night. There was a girl that walked up to us, and she asked us if we wanted shots. It might be the same girl Vince was talking about.
It was the girl with like the regular bra on.
She had a padded bra
Jello
on.
shots.
That was my fucking biggest ick ever. Like, are you telling me right now you don't make enough money in tips in one night to go to fucking Walmart and buy a bikini?
She didn't even have to go to Walmart. They had the store right off
There was
to
a
the
boutique
side.
thing we were standing right by.
Where I was hanging out
Just
at.
put something else on.
So yeah, that was probably like even if I was a strip club paying customer in that sense, I'm not giving you money. You have a bra on.
Yep.
Alec in the chat with a great point. He said, Dontavio, if he hid from you, does that mean you hid from him on Turmoil?
I didn't hide from nobody. This issue.
Cole was in the same building. We were standing there. Dontavio didn't
yeah,
the building,
I was there the whole time. I mean, you do something about it, bro. Listen, this issue would have been resolved a couple weeks ago if you'd bother to show up.
I mean, not wrong. So we'll see. We'll see.
We're working into a main event here, y'all.
But I mean,
of course, it's a main event. I'm in it.
Take it away, but you're heading the show tonight, dog. I'm just a bystander.
I have nothing else at this point. I was gonna just say, first off, thanks to everyone at NeoPro for having us out. Thanks for everyone at EFW for having us out. And then thank you, Colt, for coming on tonight. It was great hanging out with you over the weekend. Both in and out of the ring. And then I got flowers. I just recently found out my father listens to our podcast. Big supporter there. And he took me out to dinner today for my birthday. So thank you, Dad, for everything. Thanks for being one of my biggest and best supporters. Also thank you for everyone that reached out to me this week during my birthday week. It was awesome, very well spent. I even got to work on Thursday at Turmoil, so that was great. Thanks for giving me some good pointers on the weekend. And then I mean, other than that, boys, you got any flowers?
I do. It just again, Danny and Jason, you guys always put on a great show. You guys always make sure we have fun. And even when there's not assigned seating, they make sure we're taken care of.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I'm going to shout out every wrestler, I guess. Everybody put on this show. Even Colt got hit with a dildo.
I did. It was just buy just some random stripper. That's all right. Whatever.
The worst part is that was in Jacob's like pants. So like I don't know if you thought about that or not, but he definitely got hit with some.
Don't worry. I took that shirt off as soon as I came home, and it's already been washed.
Also, shout out to Beastman for the sexiest striptease of the evening. That was fucking hilarious. It was.
Everybody's lost their minds. I see. All right, cool.
You haven't been thinking about that this whole time?
No,
dude. When I was standing there and he took his shirt off and like Matt Taylor's like he throws his shirt on Matt Taylor's face, I fucking lost it. It was amazing.
Yeah. The fact they hit the music too, by the way, was hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Sending flowers out to Jen and Amanda. And then, again, just great show. Shout out to the PDP crew. Shout out to the whole squad. I saw Tony put the pick up earlier. We had a fucking blast last night. We mobbed out hard. I love that shit. So,
right, when we have like 10 people deep, man, that's very cool.
Yeah. I had to call Jason Day and be like, hey, we're adding tickets. We're coming in hot. So
yeah.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the friends. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Tony, got anything, or is that it? We good?
No, man. I think catch Turmoil on Thursday. We got fucking Ashton Day versus. Did you hear Ashton Day versus
Chris Onyx? Yeah,
boy. Let's go.
Dang, out here.
I do have one more thing to say when Tony's done, though. I don't want to forget.
No, I mean that's all. Check out Turmoil, man.
So the PDP crew on WWE 2K25 is coming along swimmingly. The hammer Yo Paulie was made first. When I got home this morning, I had nothing to do. I made Stabby Vince. Tony Forge, you're coming next, Bubba.
I need like an alternate wrestling attire. I need like
I'll make you the dad. I'll make you the dad.
You're gonna make me the father.
I was just gonna metal heart you. I was just gonna metal heart you out, but in PDP colors.
Oh, that works. I love that.
Yeah. So,
I don't think I'm gonna bring back the face paint. Maybe one more time for Converge, but don't worry about that shit. That's what I was gonna do too.
This is the last thing I will say about this dude. If you want to show up, we can have a conversation. If you want to show up, we can wrestle. I don't care, but you got to start with showing up, big dog.
So we didn't skip over it, Dontavio, and I guarantee you that Bobby has footage of when you got out of the ring. I guarantee it. I
messaged him. He hasn't seen it yet, but yeah.
When it's done, we'll post it. We'll post it. There's no. As soon as Mike's does, I will. What do you mean? What do you mean show up? I show up all the time.
Huh.
I'm there.
That doesn't make any sense at all. He's losing his mind.
All right. We'll let this one fester.
We'll see everybody this week.
Everybody, don't forget to subscribe, like everything here on Mega as well. See us on Turmoil Thursday, 8 p.m. And you already know Piledriver Podcast every Sunday night, 8 p.m. I am Stabby Vince. Up above me, Mike Allen. Then we got the old man Tony Forge over here. I can never remember where I'm pointing. And then our guest, the Southern Sinner, Colt Johnson. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
Go to the Brainbuster. Buy T-shirts.
Buy my shirts also. Please. Buy mine too.